Good evening. Welcome to the 8th day of the 12 days of Christmas spinning. My goodness, it's going fast, but that's not really true. I've gotten a lot done, and I have a lot more I wish I could get done, but that's just how it goes. Anyway, how is everybody? Happy Monday. I hope your work day and work week started out well, and that maybe you're still on vacation. I don't know how many people take more than the week between Christmas and New Year's. I know that I never had, very, very, very rarely did I have a vacation over the Christmas holiday. It was pushing it when we started cruising, and we wanted to cruise the first couple weeks of December. It was pushing to even ask for that time off, um, because the hospital is just like, we got to have people. No, we can't have everybody be going on vacation and holiday celebrating. So I things are looking up around here. We got water. I mean, we've always had hot water, but now it looks like we've got both. So hubby has successfully fixed everything as far as we can tell. So we'll see how that goes. He's got a little minor leak that he's waiting on some more connectors that he ordered that are coming this week. So that's really good news. That's really good news. And the second thing I wanted to talk about is, it looks like I have worked out. I was ranting yesterday about a magazine that I get not being available to me. And it's called The Knitter. It comes out of UK. And what I have found out is I do have the digital copies of what I purchased digitally. Um, I stopped the subscription quite a while ago. I have up through 93, issue 93, and they're on issue like 143 now. Okay, so there's been many years that I have not had them. Um, and so they're on my iPad. What I was trying to do was see if I could get them on this computer. And it doesn't look like I can, but I have them on that iPad. But that kind of bothers me, right? iPads die, right? And I don't have a backup for that. They are in the cloud. What I'm trying to figure out is why I can't access them in the cloud on this computer. Haven't figured that out yet. But here's the really, really good news. If I'm feeling flush, I can buy digital copies of all they have. I mean, even up to the most current one. And physical copies of these sell for, digital copies of each one sells for $8. And I'm just going to quote this because it's on here. I have it on here somewhere. Their deal is get all 122 back issues, which does not really say which back issues are included and not included, unfortunately. But it would total $850 if you bought them individually. And they are offering them for $65 digitally. So it is my thought that I may do as a backup a new different account on this computer. And then I would have the, I don't know if I really shouldn't make a different account because I should be able, well, then see, I would have all of them. Right. You're a paper person? Yeah, right. The digital was really frustrating me. Hi, by the way. Um, Kent, I'm glad to see you. Yeah, it was frustrating. Are you familiar with that magazine, The Knitter? Anyway, I'm still working out the details of how I want to do it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to spend the $65 and go ahead and get. Now, if they're up to 143, yes, it comes out of UK. It comes out of the UK. That's why I was asking you. And I got hard copies from number 1 through 43. I may be missing one. I think I'm missing one issue in that streak. But I got the actual physical. I paid for physical paper copies, and it got really expensive. It was getting close to $100 a year because they were monthly. They were monthly, right? So I finally gave it up. Hi, Kay. I finally gave it up. And then I started up on the digital, and I thought I had lost the digital, but I found them on my iPad, and they're in the cloud, which is good, which makes me think I should be able to get signed into an account on this computer and access the cloud. But their deal for 122 of their digital issues for $65 is a really, really good deal. So it's like Craftsy, you wish you bought the DVDs before they sold the company. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I know. Although I kept a Crafty subscription for 3 years, and I found I used it very seldom, very, very seldom. So yeah, I finally, it's like I don't have anything to do with it. I don't even worry about the past stuff anymore. But yeah, I know. The digital can be a problem, but I think there are ways to work around it, and I'm a little more optimistic about getting the Knitter magazine now than I was. So I just have to work that out. But that's not spinning, and that's what we're here for tonight. So let's do some spinning. I am working on spinning a black and white bat of Shetland. Looks like this. This is the first part of the bats, and the actual Shetland fleece was black and white. So this is what a carded bat looks like. Lovely salt and pepper. I know. I said, actually it's probably very much, I match very much. So let's finish spinning this bobbin. And then I have the white, which is all part of the white. It's got little bits of black in there, but and some paper. This is the same fleece, and it's all white. And this is going to be the plying. I called this my yin yang fleece because it was black and white. It really was when I laid it out. And there's black and there's white. And then, of course, there was stuff that was mixed black and white, which is what this came from. It will be. And it's so soft. It's so soft. I don't know. I'm not going to have that much of it, but I have the black and white too that I can put this with. In other words, I have bought a whole fleece, so I have a lot of yarn. It's just I have to decide. I think it's make a wonderful cardigan, which is gets me back to the knitter. That's why I've been looking through these patterns, because I have so much of this hand spun yarn. I need to start making things with it. Most of your favorite woolen spun yarns are a loosely spun 2-ply bouncy. Yeah, I'm ending up spinning this worsted Um, I spun this brown that's here that I'm going to apply next after I get this bat and the half a bat done. Um, it's woolen, but this is so long that it doesn't draft well for a woolen spun, um, which doesn't make sense, but it really doesn't. It likes to be pulled out long and um, smoothed down, right? Smoothed down because it's such a smooth yarn. Really, really smooth single. I've got this is the combing waist, and I do have neps in it from that. Yes, some long wool spin very fast, um, and have a luster. And it's Shetland. I keep forgetting. I mean, I don't consider Shetland a long wool. Not like Leicester long wools and the other long British long wool breeds, but Shetland it can be. I know it can have. This seems to have a really long staple length. But I've had Shetlands that weren't like that. So, what's everybody working on tonight? Are you spinning? Are you knitting? Are you relaxing? I spent part of today making one of my felt Christmas ornaments, which it's fun, but it's very slow, fiddly work. Um, but I was watching some TV, and that's what I worked on while I was watching TV. I think I have 5 of the 12 done. This was the fifth one. I hope this all fits on the one bobbin. It may not. I don't know. I have empty bobbins that I can use if I have to. You're walking the puppy. There's one patch of snow left, and she heads straight through it. Does she like? She must not mind the snow then. Uh, think I'm catching my husband's cold. Woke up sneezing this morning. Got a little tickle in my throat. My nose is dripping a little bit. So, you have sun here near Seattle. A lovely walk with my pug today. He's a spring in his step, and there were birds singing. Oh, springtime. That's, yeah, yeah. That's mild for this time of year. Cases. She loves it, but I keep forgetting boots. Kent, do you usually have fiber fairs? Or I mean, you're sounding like you've never gone to one in your area. Maybe you're new to your area. Um, there are websites that do list them, in various areas. There's things in Oregon. Yes, I do know about black sheep, I think, and that sort of thing. And in Washington. Oh, okay. Do they tend to be in the spring or fall? Cases, you have a 2 foot square patch of snow if you want it, only slightly used. Ooh, yeah, Judith McKenzie's a good person to do retreats with. That's wonderful. Well, our big one is always the uh, second weekend of April. And that's usually about the only one I get to. Um, but there is one in September that we like going to. We just didn't get to it this year. Um, that often falls on our wedding anniversary. So sometimes we incorporate a getaway weekend and go to that and stay in a hotel. I can't remember what was going on this year, but we didn't get to go this year. So it's going to be a while before any really become available here, but there's an awful lot. Depends how much you want to travel. I could go down uh, to Asheville area, North Carolina, for SAF. That's in the fall. Um, there are a couple in the state above me, Indiana, in the spring. I just have found that those tend to be smaller. Not SAF. SAF's big, but and SAF is, if I go, I always take a class. That's the best part of that. But the Indiana ones tend to be smaller. That could grow now that things are way more opened up and everything. Knitter, Happy New Year to you. Thank you. I'm glad you're watching the VODs. That makes me feel good. I'm glad somebody's doing that. Um, yeah, no, I don't. It can't be on everybody's schedule. I know that. So that's good. Glad you could join us tonight. You've been to classes with Galena. That would be knitting, though, right? Or was she spinning with a support spindle? Because she does that too. I know that. And yes, you do. You have a lot of events around there. Oh, yeah, support spinning with Galena. That would be nice. I'd be embarrassed though, because I am so terrible at it. Spinning retreats spin-off used to have soar, and I got to soar once and loved it, but they quit doing it even before the pandemic. So Ply is about the only group doing spinning retreats now. Um, like everything else, Spinoff was sold, right? And so, yeah, once they didn't support that, once they changed ownership, they didn't support the retreat. I know I keep forgetting to wish everybody a happy new year. Truly doesn't feel different to me. You know, we didn't go out and do anything. I just felt like it was another weekend. Um, and, you know, didn't really even celebrate much here at home. And my neighborhood didn't celebrate either. Usually my neighbors will set off fireworks and nobody did this year. I was surprised. It's not that it was pretty wet and rainy, so I guess maybe that was part of it. But yeah, that tells you that I definitely live in the country, that they can set off fireworks. I understand what you're saying, Kent, that, there's this feeling of, oh, well, we're just not going to bother doing anything anymore, and it's too risky to be out around people. And, some of that is, it depends on your view on whether you wanted to get a vaccination or not. I believe in the vaccinations. I'm vaccinated. I don't feel concerned about being around people and that sort of thing. Um, I get a flu shot for the same reason, right? But I understand there are people that, medical reasons, personal reasons, opinions, whatever, that don't have that, and you do have to maintain some control over your exposure. So I get it. The only vaccine I haven't gotten yet that I need to go get is shingles. And I keep putting it off because I I believe in vaccines, but I keep hearing people say that they get mild cases of it. And that was true of the first vaccines they brought out. Now my doctor says the new ones are better, but I'm like, I don't know yet. You look forward to spring is all you know right now. Oh, yeah. When you're an outside person, sometimes it's hard to hibernate, isn't it? I'm a hibernator. I really am. You know, I'll read. It isn't that I'm in the bed with covers over my head or anything. I just, I like being inside. Oh, he had shingles, or did he get the shingles vaccine? Because that could be a reaction to the vaccine's components, not just the shingles, but the components in the vaccine. He's all right, right? He got the vax, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, maybe I'll. My mom got shingles uh, late in her life, and she was miserable, and I know they're awful. So I don't know. Like they say, it isn't your exposure to anybody that you end up getting it from. It's harbored in your body from previous viral infections, right? That's pretty hard to avoid. He lived another day to tell the tale. Good. Very, very good. Like mice. Unfortunately, my nose is dripping. I really hate that. Colds. I mean, it just comes with this time of year. How many ounces? That's a good question. Um, each bat is generally about 3/4 of an ounce, and I had 6 bats, so Um, yeah, two bats is 1.5, 3, maybe just maybe 4, 4.5. No, that is not a sweater's worth. No, not at all. Um, Not at all. It takes for me to spin enough yarn to make a sweater. I need close to um, 16 to 18 ounces of wool. 4 ounces will make socks and hats and scarves. Um, 8 ounces will make um, shawls. Usually, sometimes it takes more like 12. And then I want a sweater. I usually now I agree. This Shetland was an entire fleece, so I have other yarns. I thought I was talking about just what I'm doing right now. So connected with this, I probably have. Uh, Maybe I do have a sweater's worth. My problem is it's all white, it's all black, and it's this mix. So I have to decide, if that's yeah, yeah. I have to decide if that's what I want to do. Which yeah, I could. Um, because I did the other part of this fleece earlier in the year. I've been kind of house cleaning, house cleaning the fiber room, and sometimes you know stuff didn't get all processed at the same time, and that was what happened in this because I separated the colors. I wonder if I have a record on Ravelry. After the first pound, I need a break. Yeah, right. I don't spin it all. Like I said, I don't spin it all at the same time. Let's see. Where is my hand spun? Here we go. Hand spun. Excuse me a minute while I peruse and look for this yin yang. See what I have. Here it is. It was a small fleece, by the way. Um, the black has 140 yards, 2 ply. Where's the white? Oh, I need to take a picture of. You know what? I don't think the white has been spun yet, to be honest with you. I must still have the white up there in the fiber room to be spun. So, no, I am not doing it all at the same time. That is absolutely for sure. And there was more white than there was black. I do remember that. For Shetland is very true. Very true. You can get huge differences, but that's really true of any fleece, any breed, I should say. Let me put it that way. It's as I've always said in the podcast, um, it's organic and it is specific for that animal. on the genetics of the animal, the diet, the location. I mean, it really is. It's specific for every animal. So, and that's what keeps me doing this. Otherwise, if it was all the same, I'd be really bored, right? But shoot, it's getting close to 20 years, if not more, that I've been doing it. The first podcast was in 2003, I think. I think, anyway. I might be wrong on that. It's such a cute little sheep. They are so cute. They are small. All right. Half a bat to go here. And they look like little toy sheep sometimes. They're not the miniature Southdowns, but which the last fiber fair I went to, this spring, they had some of those at the fiber fair. Oh my gosh, they were adorable. The miniature. They had some Shetland there too. They have a tent that has pens of all these different kinds of sheep. Llamas, alpacas. You are someone that loves to spin in the grease when it's fresh. And I am not. I do not like it. I am a habitual fleece washer. Usually soon after I bring it home. Just preference. It really is. I mean, I know people who stick their fleece outside in rainwater and leave it sit there in the and then spin it, with all that suet on it. Which is, they're supposedly taking all the dirt off, but not the grease. So that's would be considered spinning in the grease, but a completely different way to process a fleece. Now, from what I understand, if you are part of a sheep to shawl, you do have to spin it in the grease. But I may be wrong on that too. That is something I have never done, to be part of a team on a sheep to shawl. They don't have that at the fiber events I go to. Uh, so I've never really had an opportunity to meet up with anybody that was doing it. And I've heard that, and I'm sure I ought to try it. One of my problems is when I buy the fleece, I don't think I'm buying it right off the sheep. I think it's been stored. In fact, I'm sure of it. So I would have to find a farmer that was shearing and buy it. Now, I bought alpaca that way. I went to a shearing, but alpaca is different. It doesn't have the lanolin, so it really didn't matter. But I have never found I don't have a local farm that holds a shearing day or whatever that I could go to. There was some um, I know about, right, in my state, um, and I almost made it to the one that they were going to have, but then uh, the COVID came along and they canceled it. So I don't know if they're back to doing that or not. But that was quite a distance from me. I would have had to travel a couple hours. Hi, Nuts and Stitches. Welcome. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you and everybody else. Again. I am spinning Shetland right now. And it's home carded, drum carded. And it's combing waste, so there is some uh, neps in it. But it's super soft. It's really, really nice. How soft it is. Doesn't feel like wool. I keep thinking it's like Angora or something. You have a Clem's drum carder? Mine is a Patrick Green. It's pretty big. It has a big drum. I've had it so long that I need a new carding cloth on mine. It's losing its teeth. Just like the rest of us in our old age, right? Okay, I saw your post on Discord. You have, yeah, that weren't too long. You're right. I got it now. I was having trouble with weren't. Um, yes, that is the only problem with that thing is the boxes are a certain size. Yeah, and so, but most, and I use about 7 or 8 of my boxes for circulars also. I put my circulars in there too. Roll them up and fit them in there. You love the hand cards. Oh, but don't have the best social skills at the marketplace. Um, the Clems and Clems. I've never run into them in a. Are they may I guess maybe they're on the West Coast. They're Central California. Okay. I know, Knots, isn't it? It feels so good to be so organized, doesn't it? The only thing I could do with my regular straight needles was put them in um, a great big roll up divider with divider pockets, right? That was the only way I could do my straight needles. And those were also only a certain length. The real long ones are still loose in a container. But I don't usually have any trouble finding what I need now. It's pretty nice. You'll be always be a double pointed needle person. Oh man, I love circulars. The only thing I don't like is the magic loop. I don't like bending that, part out of the way and moving things around all the time. I'll go to double pointed needles before I do a magic loop thing. But if I'm doing a big project like when I make an Afghan that's knitted, um, I always use circulars like they're straight needles. Straight is not a fan. You're not a fan of straight needles. I am. I don't know why. Maybe because that's what I grew up knitting on. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have a tickle in my throat. Maybe I need to get a drink of water here. I'm almost done. This is it. It's going to fit on the bobbin. No problem. I don't know what colors you guys show the chat. I don't know if they're the same colors as I got, but sure is pretty with that pink and purple on there. I was like, oh, look, it's so colorful. One of my problems with spinning so many of the fleeces and wools and home processing the fleeces and all that. I don't do a lot of dyeing, so I end up doing all these natural colors like the browns and what I'm doing right now and whites, and I'm a little uh, lacking in color in my life. I need some color. And it's so funny because when I go shopping at a fiber fair, of course that's what I buy, right? Buy a lot of color. You don't get to choose the colors here. Yeah. Some of your favorite needles are lantern moon, palm wood, and that sounds wonderful as a And I don't think I have any. I have a lot of wood, double pointed, but I don't think I have any lantern moon. And I don't have a whole lot of wood, double pointed. Um, I have an awful lot of metal. That's really the bulk of what I have. All right, gonna do some plying here. Well, hello, Elise. How are you? You love the resistance of the ebony and palmwood needles? It's just enough. I understand what you're saying. The stitches don't want to go flying off the end as much and all of that. Yeah. Happy New Year, Elise. Hope it's starting out well for you. I will say I'm very happy that we have had nice, tolerable weather. No bad roads or anything. So it is starting out well for us. Do I have any good contact resources for fleeces? No. Um, because I buy everything through a fiber fair, I don't buy without being able to see the fleece itself. I don't buy it online. The only exception was when I was doing the passport with the different and the breed studies. First of all, it started out with the breed studies for the podcast, and then I also went ahead and did the passport for the rare breeds. When I was doing that, I would buy the fiber sight unseen. I couldn't find it at the fiber fairs. So, yeah, you know, I just, whatever I got, I got. But I have to admit, I don't even know if the people I buy from at the fiber fairs sell online. You know, it's cold, huh, Elise? It says it's cold. You're working on your first sock. Yeah. You have to put your hand in the bag to see if you want it. If I want to spend time with it. If it's worth your time. I know. Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of times if at the fiber fairs, uh, they'll have the fleece out, but you can't unroll it. It's that's not allowed. Um, I found that was mostly at SAF. When I went to SAF, SAF is a fleece judging fair. Okay, it's a big fleece judging fair. It's on the East Coast here. It's in South Carolina. So everybody brings their fleeces to be judged, and then they sell them, and they have them out on tables. And I like that. I mean, I like that a lot. My regular fiber fair that I go to every spring is not a fleece judging fair, and it is just people who have sheep that have just been sheared because it's held in April, and they are all in bags, so it's even less visible, right? But generally, I have noticed that they understand spinners. They know we want to look at it, so. Oh, you're doing great. You are doing great. I did not realize you were not, you were dealing with it as a second. So you are doing just fine. Don't worry about it, Elise, at all. Kent, Kent says, you have to do the strength lock ping test and get your hands on it to understand what you're buying. That is true. Um, I have not always been able to do that, and I did end up with one fleece that was unspinnable. But I'm telling you, sometimes I bring it on myself because I buy really inexpensive fleeces. Because I figure, oh, if I get anything out of it, it'll be fine. And if anybody's going to be able to handle a problem fleece, it's going to be me, right? I've had so much experience and everything. I'll buy the cheap ones, right? And sometimes, once I ended up with, I'll tell you what I did. I couldn't spin it, and I washed up a good part of it, and I stuffed a bed pillow form with it. And I have a pillow to sleep on that is full of clean fleece, clean solid fleece. It's a wonderful pillow, really is. But you are absolutely right about checking that and pinging it, pulling it and popping that. And like I said, most, like when I will only deal with people selling fleeces that are willing for me to mess with the fleece a little bit. Not open it up and roll it out and everything, but, you know, can I have a lock? Can I, whatever, can I peek underneath it here? That kind of stuff. And if they understand spinners and they're willing to let that, then they're going to get my money. You're making me want to buy fleece. Stop that. I don't need it. I have one upstairs that's ready for processing. It's my next big project, I think. I might wait a little closer to spring when the weather gets better. Natural disaster fleece pillow. I like that. Yeah. Disaster was not supposed to be in that sentence. A natural disaster popped in there. Oh, well, it's still funny. But you meant a natural fleece pillow. Sounds like a great business venture, yes. I don't know. Might sell better if we called it a natural disaster. uh, this is Rambouillet that I am playing, and it's black walnut dyed. Um, I do believe that it's not going to all fit on one bobbin. I should have plied it on my aura. I purposely don't have my aura in here right now because it takes up so much room, but probably would have been better if I had plied this on the aura. Well, people either like or hate it. I mean, hubby doesn't like the smell of raw fleece at all. So, it's got to be clean. I wouldn't want to sleep on it if it wasn't. But every once in a while, even washed, you will be able to tell and smell a fleece. I actually have one fleece that I still need to wash that's from this spring. You bypass all the commercial yarn vendors. I know. I do too. And go straight for the animals pens. I do too. I do not buy commercial yarn at a fiber fair. I'm glad they're there because they are bringing people in who are knitters and it's very common for knitters to become spinners. And all they have to do is see somebody sitting at a spinning wheel making yarn. And I have had it happen many times when I go there and just take a break and sit and spin with a drop spindle or something, you know. So, yeah. Bring the vendors in, bring the knitters in, and we'll make them spinners. Well, that first hour went by fast. After I apply this, which is going to take a little bit, not too long, but after I apply this, I may skein it off. No, I'll have 4 empty bobbins. That's enough. Then I'll start spinning this white Shetland. There's always more to do, I'll tell you. I work on fiber almost every day since I'm retired, which is exactly what I wanted. I mean, that's what I looked forward to for years, so it's happening. I have a beautiful rhythm to my plying. Get them hooked. Yes, get them hooked. Well, it helps to be on an electric. It helps the rhythm that way because it has a strong pull in. So, I don't have to feed it. It's pulling it at a set rhythm because it rotates at a set rhythm. And that's the difference between a electric spinning wheel and a treadle one. I ply almost everything on this, on the Roberta. Yeah, right, right. Yep. It really does make a difference in the plying. It really does help it be consistent. Now, what I don't usually do is ply from these right here. I try to go down and, but, but this does, this is not like really overactive twist in the single, so this isn't too bad to be pulling it off this little short distance. It's the angle, yeah. Give them a generous amount of space. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually I do put it down on the floor, but I am having difficulty with my second Lazy Kate. It's I really need to replace it. I really need to get something different. or get the same as what I have, but have two of them. This Rambouillet was a huge fleece. It was 7 pounds. It was white, and I did various dye pots of the black walnut. So what happened was I ended up with various colors. Some was more brown, darker brown. Some had a reddish cast to it, and most of that has been spun. These somehow I found a bag of this that had not been carded, and it was probably because it was just a little bit of this particular color, the lighter tan brown. So, like I said, I've been kind of cleaning house, and I thought, well, I better take care of that. I have a whole bunch of this Rambouillet that I definitely am going to make a sweater out of, but it's going to be a very at-home work sweater, right, for the winter, because it's kind of dull color. I mean, it's not real exciting and pretty, and I can put texture to it, but I'm not going to be putting color in it, I don't think. Thank you. I am happy too. Oh, I'll tell you. After all the weather there, it was bad. But the bad part was I mean, it took hubby 2 weeks to tackle it because he's not real quick on stuff. Many trips to the hardware, get something else we need. But he saved us a lot of money, so I'm not going to complain. He knows how to do it. I have to be patient while he does it. There is a storm out on the west coast. Evidently you're not part of it. I'm not sure where it's at. But I was hearing on the weather this morning that there's one coming our way from the west. I think it's going to be mostly rain, though. What is atmospheric river? Are you talking about the Gulf Stream? That's what your father says in San Diego? Oh, atmospheric river. Never heard the term. But yeah, weather does flow from west to east. Right, right. That's what he's talking about. Yep, that is very true. All right. Hate to do it, but I'm going to cut this and start another bobbin. Just like the COVID storm. Well, it came from countries west of us. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see if I can get this to undo itself here. There we go. Start over. Rain is coming down like cats and dogs. Good for the summer to come in California. Yeah, fill up your reservoirs. That's what I was just talking about. I saw that that system was coming our way and that we were going to have rain most of this week, I think. Yeah. I would like to see some sunshine. It's been a week or more since I've seen sunshine. It's been overcast ever since Christmas. California poppies. Good for all the, really, it's good for all the groundwater and that sort of thing. Tomorrow is my normal streaming day, and it's early. Um, Generally, I don't have many people come by because they're working or whatever. It's my Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. When I'm not doing the 12 days of Christmas, I stream 3 days a week, and they are Tuesday mornings, Thursday evenings, like this time, or 7 to 9, and Sunday afternoons. So, trying to catch people at different times of the day. That's fine, people. I know people just kind of put me on the back burner there, and I had one uh, viewer tell me once, I just look up every once in a while and watch your spinning wheel, and then I go back to work, and I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what it's for. And I get my spinning done, so it's a win-win. And you are welcome, Kent. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear it. To begin with, I am glad you can hear it. It is. Um, I have one bobbin that rattles more. It's more annoying because of the rattle than the sound of the motor. This is, but it is. It's very soothing. And oh my goodness, I've had this for. I wonder if I can figure out. Um, yeah, it's more than 20 years. I know that. Yeah, that's. I have been to one where I saw a lot of wheels. But you know what? I didn't hear the wheels because people were talking. It was a creepy room, completely full of us spinning with spinning wheels and that sort of thing. So it was a pretty big room to begin with. Actually, this was uh, when they had Soar, and I went to the Soar. Everybody had their wheels, of course. So that's what this was, and I mean, everybody was talking, right? They were all in their little groups of 6 or 8, and everybody was talking, so you couldn't hear the wheels at all. No, no, we were like scattered all over, and everybody knew somebody, or they had small groups of friends or whatever. They didn't care if you joined them. I mean, they were all very friendly, and they did have a lot of couches that some people were sitting on at couches instead, and had the wheels in front of them. So yeah, it was all over the room, all different formations, groupings. I will say that was probably the most wheels I've seen at one time, to be honest with you. And the only thing, nobody was real happy if you walked up and say, okay, they'd love to tell you what their wheel was and talk all about it, but they didn't want you to sit down and spin because they were spinning something important, right? So it wasn't a good try it. On the other hand, they had a marketplace, so there was a chance to try a lot of wheels there at the marketplace. I'm very lucky that I have a very cooperative hubby. He's more than willing to go. He'd prefer I not spend any money, but he loves talking to people, and he's as happy as can be talking to the vendors, and he's not a spinner, so it's not about that. He's talking about where they're from and what it's like living there and that kind of stuff. So, he was very happy to go and stay when we went to that. The one and only time we went to SOAR was in Pennsylvania that year. That was one of the few times I've ever won a raffle, too. I won a pound of dyed Polworth. It's all spun up. It was so amazing. And I won it. I was like, I have never win things, but I won it. Aw, is it common in knitting spinning circles? Well, he's a good man. And that's, that's not to say that I have my complaints at times, but, you know, We get along. Like I say, he thinks I have entirely too much fiber, and he's right. But I don't tell him he's right. Never enough fiber. You've been a witness for several years. Well, you get the women together and their hubbies aren't there. It's a chance sometimes to let off a little steam, right? Because, yeah, if it can be frustrating sometimes to be married to somebody. All right, I have just this little bit left over here. I need to incorporate in here. But like I say, I have a one spinning friend that I get together with every once in a while, and I'll tell you, she and her husband are close too. Um, so maybe there's a connection with the spinning. I don't know. She's been married longer than I have. All right, here we go. Yay! It looks like DK to worsted weight. Absolutely, it is. I called it Aaron um, when I was spinning the other parts of this during Tour de Fleece. What did I do with that? I have a listing here somewhere. The weights. Probably can't find it. Oh, I have so much on this desk. Hmm. Well, I thought it'd be in there. I don't see it. Let's look this up. I had it written down once. Oh man, I hate blogs that have so many pop-up ads. Drives me crazy. All right, here we go. Are these reps per inch? Nope. Those are not reps per inch. All right. Let's go and put in reps per inch. Let's see what I get. There. That's yarn weights. Okay, here we go. And here's my wraps per inch tool. Oop. I want to get past my join there. All right, it's 10 wraps per inch, 2 ply, which is worsted, Aran weight. I was right. I was right on, which is 9 to 12. So, yeah. Um, yeah, okay, so this is Rambouillet and it's not going to puff as much as Merino does. It has Merino genetics in it, but my experience is it doesn't change too much when I wash it Rambouillet. It'll probably go up. All right, so it was 10, it might go up to the 9 wraps per inch, but it'll still be Aran weight. All right. I have 30 minutes left. What do I want to do? I'll start spinning the white. Yeah, I know. It can surprise you sometimes, can't it? Were you the one that said you washed a fleece and it went to white? A tan fleece and it went to white? I can't remember who said that recently. The other day somebody said that. So you measure length and don't worry about wraps per inch, or I have a knitting I have two knitting knotties. I have a 1 yard one and a 2 yard one, depending on how big the skein's going to end up being. I big skeins I do the 2 yards. Okay. Now this is not as much, so it's 1.5 bats per bobbin. The bats are pretty thick though. There's a lot of fiber here. And that's what I'm going to be plying it with, so I'm hoping I get the same amount. Yeah, after you wash it, it gets counted and labeled. That's true. I don't recount mine. I wash it and don't recount it, and you are right. It can lose length after washing. And once in a while I do. If I would sell it, I would definitely recount it. If I'm using it myself, which everything in my stash at this point in time is that's what it is. So yeah, if I was going to sell it, I would definitely recount it, but I don't otherwise. Is it weird that I'm for worsted? Um, no. Um, I understand what you're saying, but because the staple length is so long, it pulls it straight like its top. Um, you know, that drafting zone is so long, it pulls it like its top before it goes in and gets spun. I agree. It's not like an accurate way to say it. It should really be semi worsted, right? That's where the semi comes in. That's the most accurate way to describe what I'm doing is semi worsted. Yeah, compressing all the air out. And the what I just plied, that was spun woolen. I mean, I was definitely pulling that out. It's the difference between because that Rambouillet was a shorter stapled fiber. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry. I'll try not to blow your ears out of here. I think anyway. Well, maybe not. Oh, I hate cold. Oh. That's one of the problems with. Sorry, get my mic down here. That's one of the problems with wanting to uh, stream every day. Couldn't think of the word. Yeah, that's one of the problems with wanting to stream every day is I'm not really feeling too good tonight. Right, you're always in between semi-worsted spinner. Right, compressing all the air out, best of both worlds. Well, I definitely get a thicker weight. This Aran weight was spun woolen, and pretty true woolen. This being semi-worsted should probably measure about 11, 12, 13 reps per inch, right? So it is definitely going to be a little thinner. So it's more like DK. Um, the only reason this is in a bat is because it's already combing waste. I've already combed out the best of it, right? This is combing waste. So that's why it's in a bat. I don't throw I throw some of the combing waste away, but I always try and use some of it like in a bat or whatever. And like I said, I don't get a real smooth yarn, but I certainly get a really good. I get a usable yarn, that's for sure. Hi, all crafty, welcome. Enjoy your lurk, and I'm glad you said hello. Happy New Year to you too. Haven't seen you to say Happy New Year yet. You can see it's languid and long. Yeah, it is. But you can also see the neps that are in it from that came out as part of the combing process, and I am not in been stopping and pulling them out because really I get a messier single doing that. So it's like, stuffing a pillow with a fleece that you can't use. I'm using it up. Something will be made and used with it. I have made mittens out of black Welsh Mountain. They're kind of itchy, but man, they are a beautiful black and they are so warm. Don't wear them real often because, like I said, they're really warm. They're for really cold weather. There's more short stuff in this than there was in that black and white. Unfortunately. Thank you, All Crafty. It's starting off well. I've decided I want to go out to eat though. I avoided it during the New Year's couple days, but I'm ready to go out and have a nice dinner. You're knitting a newborn sock. Oh, great niece. Brand new. Was she a New Year's baby? How brand new? I don't know if they do that on your news or not, but they always show the local hospitals, the babies that were born right at midnight New Year's babies. That's better than being born on Christmas. My grandpa came from Ukraine, um, and uh, he said when they, you know, uh, I'm sorry, his parents came from Ukraine, not my grandpa, his parents. So it was a generation back. But he did not have an official birth certificate because that in those days, I mean, he has passed on. This was a while ago. It would have been, I think, before 1900 that he was born. I'm not real sure when he was the exact year he was born. He did know the year he was born in, but he said that he wasn't sure of the exact day. That he was always told he was born on Christmas. So when it came time to uh, collect Social Security, he had to present. He had to go through a whole bunch of stuff. Go get um, some kind of past records in Cleveland in order to, get a birth certificate. And they said, "When's your birthday?" And he says, "Well, they always told me it was this Christmas, so they put it down." There's no real guarantee for sure that really was his birthday, but you know, you call it, you get it. So she was born on the 28th. She got to go home on New Year's. Aww. Little baby socks. It's so cute. I was thinking about knitting charity baby blankets and realizing that, first of all, I can't use my hand spun. I don't really want to anyway, but it's probably not the wisest because they need to be washable. And second of all, I don't have a whole lot of cotton, commercial cotton in my stash. So I was like, well, maybe that wasn't such a good idea after all, because I do want to use up my stash, but I don't want to be trying to plan on something that I'd have to buy yarn for. You had an aunt that got Social Security and she found the birthday she had celebrated all her life was wrong. Oh, now how far off was it? Like a day or what? I mean, that's really something when that happens, isn't it? Yeah. You don't remember how far off it was. Yeah, still. Well, years of that generation, there were home births, and they may or may not uh, have it officially registered. Sounds like it was, but the family didn't remember right. Right? Oh, goodness. Ah, yeah, that was the other thing. You're right. There was always big families too, weren't there? Yeah. Yep. Sadly, this white has a lot of neps in it. It's not going to come out too smooth. I am going to probably just do a little bit of this and close at the 2 hours because I haven't had supper yet. I want something to eat. What am I going to have to eat? I don't really know for sure. Soup. Canned soup, I believe. Like chicken noodle. Or tomato. I like canned tomato soup. Actually, I think I'll have tomato tonight. Um, there's still a ham in the fridge from the holiday, but I don't eat too much of that, so that's what hubby's been eating. Although I like a ham and cheese sandwich. That's good. You had grilled cheese for lunch, but no tomato soup with it. That's a traditional one, isn't it? Yeah. I got a gourmet gift of a jar of feta cheese and olive spread. Oh man, is that good! And I did eat some of it on crackers, but I have discovered what I really like to do is warm up a tortilla and spread that on there, and while it's warm, and roll it up, eat it that way. Oh, making myself hungry here. It is so good. I can't tell you the name of it. It was like I said, somebody, um, my daughter got it as a catalog thing, right? Out of one of the gourmet kitchen catalogs that you see at Christmas time. And I got another thing she got me that I haven't tried yet, but you know how you roast vegetables in the oven? It's a seasoning to sprinkle on the vegetables before you roast them. So that sounds real good too. Yes, that's the way to eat the tortilla. Warm. Yes, if you go, you know it's a good Mexican restaurant if you go and you get them in their little warm, warm container, warming container thing, the thing that keeps them warm. Wow. Okay, I don't know what I gotta look up Sansumas. Is it a mushroom? Yeah, I was just gonna Google it too, but I won't race you. They're a form of a tangerine? Oh. When you say they're in the yard, then you mean they drop down off the tree? Ooh, I love tangerines. Oh my gosh. Um, that is one of the things I'm looking forward to if we do ever move to Florida is all of the citrus. The problem is there's no other fruit, right? You can't grow apples, peaches, all the other grapes. You can't grow any of that, right? You have to grow citrus. And so I think I'm going to get really tired of citrus because I'm a fruit eater. I love all the different kinds of fruit. We've been eating pears right now because um, they seem to make them seasonal for um, Christmas, and the Asian pears, which they're so good. I really like them. Yeah, you're in Northwest Florida. Okay, well that's something to remember that you can do that. I am only familiar with Central Florida because that's where Mom was in the Sebring area. Well, I am going to. I hate to go. You guys have been so wonderful chatting. You made my stream fly by tonight. It's been great talking to everybody. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll catch you whenever I can next time on a stream. I don't know. I am going to go and check Twitch real quick and see if there's anybody streaming we can raid. Let's see who's streaming here. KB is on. What is she doing on late? Maybe, is she watching a movie? Let me go and see what she's up to. She's not usually on this. Positively Crafty's on too. She's another good one. She's in California or somewhere on the West Coast. She's working on a sweater, I think. Wait a minute. I'm still in ads. Sorry. Yeah. All right. We're going to go visit her because she's never on this time of night. Let me get my headphone plugged in.
Knit four together through the back loop.
Okay. Thank you, Alias. Thank you, All Crafty. Thank you, everybody. Catch you when I can. Let's go raid.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Geonatrix.
5.
She said supply list will come out soon.
Okay, good, good. I would like to be more prepared this year than I was last year. I mean, I just winged it last year. Just picked what I had.
Okay, we're
I
ready to
didn't
go.
through
See you all.
the
Bye.
repairs, and I didn't know where to find the supply list